Hello, I'm Charly and today I'm going to be doing another book reviews video. So I'm going to change my book reviews. The last two book reviews videos I did 5 books in each video, but I'm going to change it to 3 books each video because I don't get through books that quick, so I can keep up with 3 books per video, and also that means the videos will be shorter and I'll be able to talk more about each book. And yes, so the books that I'll be reviewing today are Angel Fall by Susan E., The Diviners by Libba Bray, and Animal Farm by George Orwell. All these reviews will be spoiler free, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to a playlist of all my book reviews videos. So the first book I'm going to be talking about is Angel Fall by Susan E. This is the first book in a series. I don't know how many books it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be 5 or 6 maybe, but the series is called Penryn and the End of Days, and this is a young adult series about angels. And I have the second book, but I haven't read it. It is World After. And the third book is not yet out. I'm not sure when it does come out, but I just know that these 2 books are the only ones that are out so far, so it's a fairly new series. And I believe Susan E., this was originally a self-published book, and this is her debut novel, I think. And yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. It's basically about a girl called Penryn, and she lives with her mum and her sister, and one night she sees angels fighting in the street, and this one angel gets his wings chopped off, and then the angels take her sister and take her away. And then Penryn takes the angel who had his wings cut off, Raffi, and she basically keeps him as hostage and demands that he take her to where they took her sister, and that's basically the journey they go on, and they become friends. And it's just, well, not really friends, but it's good. It's good for a first book, and I'm definitely intrigued to read the rest of the series. I really, it really picked up for me at the end. Susan E. is really good with, she's not scared to write about certain topics. Towards the end, it gets really gory, and, not heaps and heaps, but, it's pretty disturbing stuff towards the end. And, the ending of this book basically is what made it go from a 3 stars to a 4 stars. It was really good. But another interesting thing about this book that I really enjoyed is Penryn's mum. She's going insane, and she has some mental problems, and I think it's really well done in this book, and it's talked about how it really would be, and it's not Susan E. doesn't skirt over it, just like I said before, and I really enjoyed that thing with her mum. And I feel like it's going to come into their other books, and I just really like what happened with the sister at the end, because that's going to develop well, and it's just, whoa, yeah. And I just, this strength of Penryn, the main character. Penryn is a really strong female lead, and she's just really strong, and she doesn't take crap from anyone, and it's just great, you know? And if you're wondering what this tab is, it's a funny bit of, the angel Raffi and the main character Penryn, they banter a lot, and they're all sarcastic at each other, and it's really funny. And the one thing that I tabbed is Penryn says, "Oh my god, you are nothing but a bird with attitude. Okay, so you have a few muscles, I'll grant you that. But you know, a bird is nothing but a barely evolved lizard, that's what you are." So she basically calls him an evolved lizard, and it was just really funny. And I just love the dynamic between these 2 characters. At first, I didn't enjoy the relationship between Penryn and Raffi. It just seemed a bit, fake, and yeah, but towards the end, it was really good, and I look forward to reading more in the series. It's basically just the first half of the book. It took me a while to get into the writing style, because the writing style was kind of just, an average writing style, I think, but after that, I really got into it. Once again, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I have to review is The Diviners by Libba Bray. This is also a first in a series or a trilogy, I'm not sure. The second book was meant to be out already, I think, in April, but it got pushed back to April of next year, and that makes me angry because I freaking loved this book. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's huge. It took me forever to get through, but once I got into it, I just didn't stop, and oh my gosh, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars if you can't tell, and I cannot wait for the second book. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, so if you're worried about reading it and not wanting to wait for the second book, I wouldn't worry about that. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger, and I can still remember exactly what happened at the end. It's really memorable. I remember everything that happened in this book, and it was just so good. This is kind of a cross between historical fiction and paranormal. So this book is set in the 1920s in New York, and it's about a girl called Evie, and it's told from multiple different perspectives, and it's in third person, and it's like a really complex story, but it doesn't really get complicated at any point, which I really loved about it, because most of the time with multiple perspectives I get really confused, but this one I didn't get confused at all, even though it is such a huge book. It's like 600 pages, but it's about Evie, and she has a gift. This is where the name Diviners comes in. She's a diviner, and she can, like, if she holds an object that belongs to another person, she can kind of tell their future, but not really. She can just tell things that they've done, or, yeah, she can tell things that they've done in their past, and she uses it as sort of a party trick at this party, and then she gets in trouble for it, and she gets sent away to New York to live with her uncle, and her uncle owns or runs a museum, and there's murders going on in New York, and they're really mysterious murders, and Evie ends up helping with finding out, like, tracking down the murderer, and that's basically what this book is about, is the murders, and her gift comes into it a lot, and it was so good. It's really creepy, like, it's good at being creepy. It was so good, and it is creepy. Like, if you like creepy books, you will love this book, and like, the end is so intense, and it was a really good ending. Like, I can see that this could have been a standalone, but I can see the ideas that are brought up at the end that could come into more books, so that was interesting. And there's a lot of characters, and the characters are really lovable, and like, they just make you happy, these characters. And the villain in this book is, like, the best part of this whole book is the villain. He's terrifying. Oh, okay, he has, like, a song. I don't think this is a spoiler, like, it comes into it pretty quick. The villain has a song, and it's like a whistling tune, and it's really creepy. It's creepy, and like, I can picture what this song would go like, and oh, it's really creepy. But the ending of this book is amazing, and I just loved it so much because you don't get confused, and I don't think there's anything that I can say negative about this book other than that it is really long and it does take a bit to get into. So if you're looking for something that you can just fly through that's like really easy to get into, I wouldn't go for this, but like, is really worth it. If you like creepy books, then this is definitely worth it. And if you don't get into it straight away, but you enjoy the idea, then I would definitely keep reading, because I wasn't into it at first, and it took me like 200 pages, but then I really got into it, and it wasn't that I didn't like it at first, it was just hard to get into the writing style, kind of. I don't know, but I really, really loved it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And the last book I'm going to review is Animal Farm by George Orwell. I had to read this for Extension English, which I have dropped now, so I don't do it anymore, but this I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This is a classic, and it is satirizing the Russian Revolution, so if you're interested in history and you're studying the Russian Revolution, then this is interesting to read. It was really good. I don't know why I liked it so much. I just really liked the satire, because I was studying it as well. It was like the teacher was telling us what everything meant, and it's really clever. Like, if you read it and you don't know anything about the Russian Revolution, then you won't like understand the satire, but you'll still enjoy it. It's really short. It's considered a fable, and like, it's so simply written, and it like kind of tricks you into thinking that it's just a story about animals, but it's so much more clever than that, and I really liked it. And I obviously tabbed heaps of stuff, which was mainly because I was studying it, and yes, I highlighted in it, okay, but I didn't write in it. I wrote on sticky notes, so that might make you happy. I didn't write in it, I just highlighted in it. See, I wrote on sticky notes, yeah. So I don't really know what else to say about this. Like, I rate classics differently to other books, because like, I don't expect to be in love with classics, but I rate them highly if I think that if I took something from them, and I did take things from this. And if you're looking for a classic, then I think this is a good one, especially if you do history in school, or just like satire and you want to like study it, then this is good. So those are all of the books I had to review. Please comment below and discuss them with me, especially the Diviners. I really want to know if anyone disliked the Diviners, because I really loved that book, and I cannot wait for for the second book. So that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!